What about my thumbnail? Oh, man. Times now is back to the Rons. Like, wow, he's back to the Rons. I'm in the booth straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent, Daily Plant, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps home under the gun. I see you back. Back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the Rons. Now's the time. Time to unwind because back to the Rons. Back to the Rons. Now's the time. Time to unwind because back to the Rons. Why did the clock start over? Why did I mess up my thumbnail? I have to fix that. What am I going to do? Oh, my God. So frustrating, man. Come on, man. I was so focused on smiling, and I just messed it up. No, I'm not smiling because I messed it up. All right. So let's go ahead, talk about the latest of this journey. And let's start with the list. Schoolhouse album sales. I got my album. I guess I got a trade. I was almost going to bring for the show, what I traded. I traded my album for a store copy with Seattle Records of Chicago 25 to 624. Is that the song, right? Billy Joel, I think Matter of Trust. I don't think I had that song. I better not have. Otherwise, I got a duplicate. I think How Much I Feel from Ambrosia. Captain and Tennille song, maybe. Can't remember the name of it. So those are songs I was sure I didn't have. I don't think I had that Billy Joel song, 1986. So I took a shot that I didn't. Won't be listening anytime soon, but he wanted to see about making the trade, which was cool. And then we put one for sale there. So that's the album sales for the week. And so I kept going back and forth and thinking, do I normally just trade it, or do I take money from my personal finances and fund my business? And that's what I'm supposed to do. So I need to fix that because I need to buy those records out of my personal money. Realistically, just move money into my business account, my music account. So it is more of a sale that way. Country song, don't have anything new there. Guess someone from our church went and checked out the King Brown concert. We don't know who the young lady went with. You might see her in an upcoming show soon. She could tell us about it. That's cool that she likes King Brown, though. So she'll be up for the country probably. Okay. YouTube channel. I kind of wanted to get this show going because it's the short is smoking. Man, we got 78 views already for the YouTube short. That's really a huge success right out the gate. So it'd be cool if someone was, oh man, I got to see the short. Oh, this guy's live. I don't know if it would ever happen like that, but it hasn't happened yet in 3 minutes. TikTok had 240 views, and then Instagram had 0 so far. But last week it exceeded 100 for the first time in a long time, in maybe 3 months. So that was good. The YouTube short did like only 5. This is so hard. You would never know what's what. It's good to do all 3 because one might do well and the others don't. I think TikTok got a little under 1,000, so that's good. And the channel, the show didn't get as near as much time viewed as normal, but it had more views. I think I would go for the time viewed over the views. The views kind of look good to someone who's just observing it, but if you can see how, from the dashboard side of it, where you can look at they call them the analytics, you'd want the length of view. I think that's going to count for more. So I'm not sure why that happened, but okay. Rules of engagement. I don't have anything for that. Music for Back to the Rhymes. So I guess this is the time to just talk about what I'm doing with Alex, because that's taken up. It's been a weekly thing that we've been doing. That's not going to be music for Back to the Rhymes, but I really don't know. I suppose I could talk about it for the YouTube channel. Probably as a catch-all as much as anything. Oh, and I'll just skip past Bellevue Ballers, but I don't think there's much exactly. So we'll just continue on. So here's what we're doing. We're working on music songs, making songs that are to be kind of parodies, kind of funny, getting the content together. I think we got the concept for, did we say, well, one of the songs has 2 verses, the other one has a verse. I guess I better put out a second verse before I see him again. I want to spend like a half hour before I see him working on figuring out how to record. I might do it when I'm with them, but I just need to at least bring. So I have my mom's old computer and it's Apple. Bring the GarageBand and just see if I can figure out anything. I think people would suggest that I go on YouTube and say, "Hey, how do I use GarageBand?" And that would be my next step. But just bringing it would be a step in the right direction. It's really my only option. This computer I record with, that's my daughter's school computer. This other computer, just, I don't know. I guess I have the software on this other computer, but probably most every time my wife wants to use it. This is not very good, but it's something it's just something. I'm looking at, because here, if we just write the ideas for 10 songs down, I'd say more, over 100, could be hundreds of songs already. I don't need another 10. We need to be able to move this ball forward. And the way to do that is to work on the recording aspect. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. I talked to Zania today, and so step 1 would be figure out how to record and be able to make a beat. That would be my first objective. Make the beat and let someone else hear it, maybe, just to do that. And then secondly, to put Alex's music on it, his riffs. We're still going to need the interface for that and for the vocals. So that's fine. But we don't need that for the beat. And if there's any effects or anything I want to do prior to, that'd be fine. So that would be really a big improvement on my end. That would be good to try to get better. And since he's so focused on, I don't know, he gets energized when we're together, and I guess that's good. He made probably the best statement I couldn't have come up with. He just said, we're just not each other's first choice. I just think that was funny. But we are working together because we both want to do something, and we're just looking for that common ground. And I appreciate that, because let's say, where's my first choice? Nowhere to be found. And his first choice is nowhere to be found. So we're taking the number 10 choice or whatever it is, but we both are willing to do it and partner up. So what can I say? And, my wife's like, "Hey, you going to be doing this? You going to get anything out of this that's taken away from the X?" Yeah, okay. But that's why I don't put too much time into it weekly, but I put a little bit of time and then try to come away with something. So I got to be just mindful of the demands on my time. I'm amazed at how people do seem to have just tons of time where they're just, I don't know, watching TV, doing this, doing that. I mean, and she's actually always doing some project of her own. She's not just sitting around too much. If she's watching TV, she's dead serious doing that too. Me, I'm working on, even if it's fantasy baseball, I'm working on something. I'm not just watching TV, flipping channels. That just doesn't happen. Sometimes I'll have some fun and just check out politics, and I do enjoy that. But it's not very often. I just like, wow, okay, what should I do now? If it is, it's going to be on my to-do list. So that's where we're headed with that. I'd say an hour to 2 a week more or less, and we'll see what we can get out of that for now until we get, we'll say, an album's worth, which I'm saying is 10 songs. It should be more than that, and see if we can make progress in terms of recording some kind of way. He's using a tape deck, which is still better. I'll probably take that over a phone, really, just like recording with your phone. I think that's probably better from in my mind. And then Zanya said I could send him what we're doing. He could review it and then be like, oh, shoot, how am I going to do that? Wave file or something. I don't know. It just, anyway, once I do it, maybe I'll figure it out, get some help from my wife or somebody. And that'd be super cool. I appreciate his offer there. Okay, this is another big thing. So I told you I got the CD there, Seattle Records, but this is my last shirt I have a possession of currently, because we got Black Market skateboards, and then we got now Seattle Records / Intervision is carrying 5 of these. And so the Ken over there said he believes these will sell. Yay, big news. Second, he said he couldn't do it on a dark shirt, but on a light shirt, they can screen print shirts at a much lower cost than what I've been paying. Because right now, what he's going to sell them for, he's got to sell them for what will sell, $20, $25. Maybe we'll split it or whatever. That kind of break even. That's fine. Take that money back, buy more shirts, and now if it's, I'm going to check back with him in a couple of weeks, but let's say it's, 1 or 2 shirts a month even would be a huge improvement over what I have revenue-wise currently. If we could just get that going. He's on the app, a couple of locations, especially the one Intervisions, who Leon mentioned, Will, used to go there and buy movie posters back even in high school. Obviously, different owners, but I thought so. I knew there was a poster shop there. I just didn't know the name, or I was never buying, but he was serious, get them framed, movie posters. I don't know how much of that they're doing now. I think it was, I have to ask Will about that, but yeah, that's cool. He knew it when I told him about Intervisions. Oh yeah, I used to go out there to get my movie posters, right? So that's cool. So anyway, I think we're gonna work well together. I do have a Bellevue Ballers ideas too related to that. We're just gonna. We just gotta bring in revenue. It's an all the above approach, And I look at all these things as potential revenue streams, and so that's what I want to bring to his attention too. So anyhow, keep an eye out for that when you're on the app and see about those shirts. But yeah, he thought cats are a theme at his store, and he thought that's a good print because he said, like, he was talking about Goodwill, which is just closed on the app. You go there, there's not that many good prints. I got to say, John said, I'm not going to look. John, shout out to him. He got his new car, took a picture with him in his favorite screen printed shirt, which he's wearing, the Goodyear Productions. I got to appreciate that, bro. Thank you. And let's see if I get around to taking a ride in the mean machine. I'm a little nervous. I got to say it, but maybe we'll do it in the morning, see if you're not quite awake yet. Yeah, scheduling, got to line up the schedules. But I appreciate that. That was cool. He sent that to me. Trump's going to dump. Nothing new too much. We had the assassination, the second one before the last show. So there's no assassination attempts this week. What a good week. But that's just crooked. So crooked. And we're just going to see. Yeah, it's interesting. I just don't think, how can these guys get away with it? We'll see. We'll see what digging can come, what can be found out about who knew what, when, and all that, and if anything will happen. Time will tell. So you will be glorified. And I was just thinking about this, and it's like, okay, I did make connections with somebody from my daughter's new school. I do need to connect with him again, and I need to see his music from the church he leads, the worship. That's a serious production. So that's what I need to do. And then I also can't forget about my man whose son's a barber up the street. He's over there singing away, willing to engage. So there's that option. I guess for me right now, it's enough to just be working with Alex, because that's a commitment weekly. Anything else, I'm not trying to add to that exactly at this point. If somebody comes to me and wants to do something, that's great. Just like Alex, he's approaching me. Therefore, now we're going to meet halfway. Anything else on here? That's why it took me so long to get over to Ken and Seattle Records, just because I have a process for engaging people, and I finally got a situation where I can put his name in there and get in touch with him. Also asked him about recording. He's talking about GoFundMe, but yeah, that's kind of a long ways out. What else? I was gonna say something else, but no. I think that's it. Oh, he works with Henry. If you've seen those murals, that's a friend of his for a long time. I guess the fellow's name is Ryan, but his middle name's Henry. That'd be kind of cool to maybe do a video with that in there. It's a really what would you call it? An eclectic Seattle. His art doesn't go beyond the city of Seattle, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Is it a Seattle thing? It's really cool, though. It's super cool. I guess I don't know how it's working out for him. I mean, it seems to be going well. Not like blowing them way up, but definitely anybody in Seattle would know about this Henry if you're paying any attention in his murals. So that they're work together, actually. It's not just, oh, hey man, this guy's the coolest, latest, greatest guy, let me just have him do artwork for me. They've been working. He's been knowing him for a long time. And so, yeah. Oh, I got to also say, I guess merch wise, I can get posters made, 11 by 17, nice little posters. I think business cards, stickers, everything is going to come from these folks, or they have a print shop next to them. So these are my go-to problem solve for all my printing needs, which I'm so thankful for. Okay, I think that's it. Current events. I was just going to mention, I heard Dennis Prager mention about being at the airport, seeing a circle, like we'll say 10 youth, and they're all on their phones, not engaging each other. And of course, this one happened years ago. What I was thinking is, because, I'll go in the break room, people on their break, they're doing but seriously, if you're 20 years ago on your break in your lunchroom, is everyone talking to each other? Not necessarily. One person might be reading the sports, another person's reading a book, another person's watching TV. It's all on the phone now. People have different interests. So I think the problem is, though, I would say there's probably less, let's just say, socializing now than there was, because it's just more content's more interesting. But what happens is, and this is relate to Bellevue Ballers and stuff, is now you have people, the soft skills are diminishing. People skills are diminishing, because you're just not using it. You're not engaging people. So that's a real thing. But there is something to be said for, how much you want to talk to somebody. That I always try, and try to take an interest, but that's not everybody. And, after a while, if somebody's not, I'll say, have a growth mindset. If you have a growth mindset, they might have, let's say, a fixed mindset. It's not that interesting of a person possibly to talk to. But get me around to someone with a growth mindset, I don't need to check my phone. Yeah, so I just want to talk about that. All right, so I'm going to get back to the rhymes. And I have a plan for this song. I'll just put it out. I think I'm going to have to go longer than I expected, because I'm going to do kind of, let's say I do a couple verses, but So Will talked about that he used the term Christian tropes. Now, what I want to say is, let's say a moderate in the spiritual realm is a Christian. That's a standard run-of-the-mill Christian, just straight up and down evangelical. Just goes to church. Maybe they study some. Not like even a seminary person who can say if that's a moderate, or the center to the right could be someone in seminary or whatever. And to the left would be somebody who's maybe calls themselves a Christian, but doesn't do anything that you would think of a Christian. And then further to the left is just people of the world, secular, what have you. But to the right of that is what we're talking about. And this is not being better than anybody, but who are your sources? And I don't have scripture with me, but again, what would the religious leaders ask Jesus? By what authority do you speak these things, right? I was sent by the Father. I'm directly connected. So his source is the truth. Absolutely, right? Now, what we're saying is our sources, in particular, Leon Will, and I asked him today, I was like, hey, give me where do you get your Jewish commentaries? And he just suggested ArtScroll, I think .com or something. All right, so I can get this Jewish commentary for the Torah and start to read it, as along with it. Yeah, even though I'm not reading it a ton, but I should at least have it. And just for a starting point. But again, someone really wants to take this serious, because what you have is, let's say in a seminary, or I think that biblical scholars was the term I heard today at the service. How can you call yourself a biblical scholar if, for instance, and again, he says Christian tropes, these things that are espoused from the pulpit for maybe centuries, some of these concepts are fairly new. You talk about the rapture, you talk about within the last couple of 100 years, there was another one we were checking into, replacement theology. All these things are fairly new. I think Moody, he's talking about these folks putting it out there. So we had to do some research to find out what was taught before. But and of course, the centralization of, let's say, biblical scholarship can be connected to maybe mass media and all that stuff that happened, in this past 100+ years. So there you have it. So from the right, I would say, because I think what I want to encourage, this is just for solid debate. And if you're a non-believer, 100%, why don't you challenge from the left, from a secular point, Christianity? We'll come at it from the right. We want the truth. You might not want the truth if you're secular. That's fine. But if you want to take on these Christians and challenge them, well, fine. There's some challengeable things here, and see where it goes, because we want to get to the bottom of it. Because for me, I'm not trying to just half truths. That's not going to work for me. That doesn't work. Doesn't make any sense. And I can see why some people get hung up. But anyhow, let's go back. Let's rhyme this out. Let's spit it. And then we'll just continue on the content. This is a heavy lift with a heavy heart. No jest, just hoping that y'all can digest what I'm saying and suspend the rest of your disbelief. As I turn over rocks, turn a new leaf. This ain't beef. This ain't me gnashing teeth. This is setting the record straight, that the keepers of the gate are God's chosen people. The nations cannot equal their relationship with the Father. Is that a bother? Obedience requires paying close attention. Are we introspective, or are we selective? Select what suits our theological fancy. That makes me antsy, because I don't want to do what's right in my own eyes, because that's erroneous, which is a clear miss. We want to clear this threshold, not hold tight till the lie's been told. Ironic, not ironic, not going to stick with man-made bionic, man, that can't be the plan. Won't hang my head for prayers being said. It's that I'm bowing the crown, and I do want to be down with the true king. Here's the thing. So if you really gonna get it, so few really gonna get it. So we'll put it out there. Planting seeds, won't forget it. Crops gotta be tended to. So what am I up to? Cultivating, not waiting, debating, resuscitating. Okay. It says a little. Well, that was a minute and a half easy. Some content there. All right. Again, in my mind, I'm going to continue this, but I really want to go through a list. Might put together a show with Will even connected to this because he said something today. As long as I've been going to church 20 plus years, never heard it. And it's absolutely changes so much of how you look at scripture, your relationship with God, why the Jewish people would do these kind of things. And it's a little thing that's in the Torah. You could skip right past it. All these Bible scholars are missing it, and they're just talking about this, and it's just right there. And very diplomatic. Will is very diplomatic how he bring this out. But yeah, this is, and again, when confronted with that, what do you do? Just, oh, I didn't hear that. No, I didn't hear what you said. I don't understand it. All right, so let's keep on here. Crops got to be tended to. So what am I up to? Cultivating, not waiting, debating, resuscitating. It's a great day. To get out of the gray. So, gray. Spelled Grey, Gray, right? I think I'll go Gray. Get out of the gray area. It's a great day to get out of the gray area. Got to use our gray manner. I think I want to say manner. Gray manner. Get a little more serious here. It's a great day to get out of the gray area. Got to use our gray matter. Gray matter. Got to use our gray matter. Gray matter. Got to use a gray matter. And it's a great day to get out of the gray area. Got to use our gray matter. It do matter. It's funny because we have someone with that as a last name, we know, and if you're Japanese, you would pronounce it mata. You don't say R. Mata. It do mata. Let's see. It's a great day to get out of the gray area. Got to use our gray matter. It do matter. To me, I'll say, how about for you? And now, of course, people want to speak their truth. Are you trying to speak your truth? Did I say this before? I hope not. I'm tempted not to because I might have said it. It just makes sense. Okay, I won't. How about you? Got to use our gray matter. It do matter to me, I'll say. How about for you? That's all. Ultimately, that'll be your call. Were you to call? I'd answer. And we can talk. And we can talk that through. I guess that concludes that verse. Next time, back to the rhymes.